can barely hear whatever you just did, dude. I can't hear anything. Yeah, there's nothing. What are you doing? Say
Really?
word. No, I'm dead serious. There's nothing. Sounded like maybe an ocean wave.
All right, hold on.
Jake thought he was clever, and yet here we are.
That's really weird.
This is how we're starting things, huh? Don't do that because I have to do that. So don't do that.
Oh. Start the show.
I don't know what the topic is. Currently, I've named the episode "Topic Unknown." I have been a little busy taking my daughter to physical therapy because she's a volleyball princess, and we can't be having injuries lingering throughout multiple seasons anymore. It's just getting old. And I'm still building the deck. I'll probably be building it through 2028 is my guess. Dealing with I don't know, door installations over top of rotted out substrates. You want to talk about that? And I think I might have even said that in the last episode.
You did say substrate in the last episode. I remember that because I don't know what the fuck that is. But
bro, so the subfloor, okay, rotted out subfloor over top of the rim joist, over top of the joists, and over top of the sill plate, and the sill plate is also rotted, and that's not good. So I got to go into the basement with some bottle jacks, okay, and some 4x4s, and a 2x6, and jack up that part of the house just enough to cut that shit out and slide in some high quality pressure treated lumber from my local Lowe's 5 minutes down the road. So that's a big project. And what else was I doing today? Figuring out how much concrete I need. 60 bags of 80-pound concrete. That's a lot. That's a lot of footers, bro.
Can we imagine? I want to imagine, like a couple years in the future when, in fact, by way of imagining, I'm just going to say, hey, all of you who are huge Galactic Animals fans, and you're just like one of the hundreds of thousands probably people who are now listening to Galactic Animals, maybe you're listening to it for the first time. I'm saying in this episode, in May of 2026, Jared, I think what you need to do is on our social media platforms, start taking some pictures of the joists and the substrates and the jugs, whatever the fuck you just said. Like, take some pictures of that stuff so that
jugs
people can follow along.
Bottle jacks.
Say something about jugs?
Bottle jacks. Bottle jacks.
Bottle jacks.
Let me say bottle jugs.
Bottle jacks and joists. That's gonna have to go in the show notes or the title. But I just think we're gonna update people probably every time we start a show, right? Like, we're gonna get here's where we are with the deck.
Yeah, this is my personal life,
obviously. Yeah, but it's important. It's important because it affects how we show prep or not. This deck, it's like your mistress that I compete with.
Yeah.
And
well, I have multiple because right now, right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are in the middle of the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks, and this is game 2 as we go live right now. And I texted Jake earlier today. I said, this is really testing my commitment to the show very early on. I mean, there was a time where I would have quickly been like, yeah, fuck off. We're not recording tonight. So I've grown.
Yep.
I've grown. I mean, as a man.
I feel very loved.
Yeah. I've grown as a friend. I've grown in my responsibility. Where am I going with that? My being accountable. Yeah. That's a part of it. Something about being accountable to you as my friend more than anything. That's what I think. That's what it is. Yeah.
I will say,
I do need to
if the
text my daughter
Packers,
because I don't know where she is.
if the Packers play a Thursday night game,
Mhm.
when they play a Thursday night game, I'm gonna make it up to you and not watch the Packers.
Really?
Yep.
I wouldn't expect
Although
that.
it won't be the playoffs, but it's still, it's fairly equivalent. And
Yeah.
so, but yeah, we should get some before and after pictures of the deck. I think the deck and how it gets together, it'll be nice as like a little bit for the show for our
Yeah.
social media fans.
If I
don't have to
have
bring it
if I have the
on air.
patience, if I have the patience for it, and for some reason I can hear my voice on your end. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, and
All right.
the echo. Hang on, it's something I can fix real quick.
I just might have fixed it.
Oh, maybe you did. Yeah, I don't hear it now.
I purposely tried to connect the Bluetooth speaker to my laptop so I could play our intro song, and I need to address that real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, because my speakers on my laptop are just not loud enough, and I was like, this might help, but so I want the audience to also know that one of Jared's other mistresses is editing our completed shows when they're done instead of just letting them be published as is.
Nope.
And one of the reasons why he has to go back and like fuck around with the episodes when they're done and before the audio version gets posted is because he has to overlay the intro and outro music in there. And I know at some point he'll get that shit built in.
No. We got to be. Here's the deal. And I am going to call them out. We pay for this service, so they're getting called out. We use Riverside.fm. Great idea. Great. Like the utility of it can be amazing. I can stream live across different platforms. It will automatically generate show notes and push episodes out to streaming services, or to podcast services, streams, all that good stuff, right? So you can go live and then you can edit a show. They have an an editor within it and some AI stuff.
Mad at
the
them,
problem is it's very complicated. It's overly complicated. There's overlapping features and it's very confusing, and they've been changing the UI. I mean, since we started the show 3 episodes ago, it's been every single episode that it said something has been different and it's not consistent in how well it works. And so that has been a very frustrating issue, because if it were up to me, Jake, if I had the time, I would just go live, pull the live feed, throw it into Adobe, edit in there, and we'd be good. But I don't know. I think sometimes I feel like Riverside's trying to be too clever and they're missing out on certain things, especially when it comes to running a show where I can actually produce in a way that I would want to, where I could have the show open, run music through the show open and underneath us. But to do that, I just have to get a more complicated setup. I have to use something like OBS, which is another open source. I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
And so that's why I am trying to get used to, figure out a workflow that actually works. And I'm very disappointed in some of the selective AI editing that is available through this application. It's driving me up a wall.
That has all been noted for the record. I wasn't judging. I was just acknowledging that, we each have our own competing forces in our lives. And one of the things we agreed to do was just simplify as much as possible the process of getting what we talk about out into the world. So that's part of the reason why we're doing it live to begin with, so that it's just like,
I think we're 80% there.
And I mostly just wanted to explain, I I played that song into my mic so that as a way to like force Jared at least to think about just leaving the actual episode alone instead of worrying about overlaying music onto it.
But that's the easy part.
And this goes back to our old show when he didn't have a Riverside to complain about years ago. We still had an old show where the same shit would happen, exact same complaint, and I would be on the air going, how come I can't hear our intro music anymore? It used to be so nice to like hear it while we were getting, it would put me in the mood to do a podcast. And he'd be like, I'm gonna do that later in post. And then he'd be like, yeah, I didn't get to that. I'll get to it later. It's not up yet. I have to put the music on. It's like totally different Jareds, totally different UIs, totally different lots of stuff. But it is kind of the same thing. I was mostly just trying to fuck with you by playing the song on my phone. Well, through the speaker first. Didn't work.
Yeah, but you fucked it up.
Now the audience knows.
You know what the audience doesn't know is
what?
Remember when we got off the last episode, and I was like, let me see, because I was annoyed with some things, and I think we were talking about the website, and I was like, let me see if I can make a website real quick, right?
Oh God, that was amazing.
Or was it the I said, let me see if did I do the website first, or did I do the studio? Was I seeing if I could replicate?
It was the studio, and okay, I will say you were getting distracted by ChatGPT while we were in the show, and then as we completely finished, you were still distracted, and then I was like, all right, I guess we're gonna go to bed, and then you said, let me see if I can get it to build a studio, and I'm like, I'm intrigued, and then we stayed up like a little longer, and it was wild.
You haven't seen some of the updates?
No.
All right, so I haven't worked on it for a few days, but it's a studio. It will capture your video and my video separately. It will show audio levels. It will show recording times. It will, like, I am on probably my third or fourth pass. There were like 3 rough drafts, and now I'm on my second or third like proof of concept run, and it keeps up. Listen, I have no idea how to code, right? I do understand, like, we've fucked around with WordPress. We had to do that for some of our work in the past, and if anybody, I can't even explain, but the Air Force uses a system, used to at least, called AFPIMS, and that'll make you want to rip your hair out.
No rabbit holes.
Point being,
AFPIM.
I thought it'd be fun to bring up AFPIM.
Going in the show notes. So we got joists.
So no idea how to code. And I have also, not only have I built the studio that we can record in, that we're pretty close. I have tied it to our website. And so galacticanimals.com is also has been built. Don't ask me how, but we were able to buy, like, how is galacticanimals.com available as a how? Not
anymore.
Lucky.
I thought that was cool. Like, what was cool about that, of the many things, was that we were just continuing the conversation we had on the air, and it became that at midnight. But we should probably get on with this one, and I have a couple of one is a real gift for you that I can't give to you until another couple months. But first, I just have a little like virtual hug to give you, so I'm going to take a sip. I picked this one out. I have a collection.
Yeah.
But I knew that you were missing the Cavs game tonight, and so I picked this of my many Guinness pint glasses that I collect, and just for you.
Have you been to the it's the NFL Hall of Fame,
Pro Football Hall of Fame? Yeah.
Pint. Yeah. Have you been there?
We went there. I think it was like 2 days before your bachelor party.
Oh, yeah, never mind. No,
And by the way,
it was like it was a day or two. I thought it was the day before my wedding. It was yeah. We had the dinner Thursday, and then I was dead to the world on Friday, and everyone
yeah,
went except for me.
yeah, you didn't go. It
I
didn't matter.
was I
You didn't
thought
need
I
to
was
be
gonna
there.
die.
Speaking of alcohol,
It
um,
was not
for my wife who may or
not
may
my
never
best
watch
showing.
any of our episodes, and anyone else who needs to know, I love Guinness and I collect pint glasses all over the world, but Guinness is my favorite. But
Yeah.
you know what is really good? If you're just having a podcast late at night and you're in your mid 40s and don't feel like processing alcohol while you're sleeping,
Yeah.
unbelievably tasty right out of the can, the NA version. I couldn't believe it. So that's my go-to now. All right, so my second gift, I want the audience to know, because we're on video, I've realized that I've been caring about the t-shirts that I'm wearing to the show, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I've been choosing t-shirts with intent. So if you can
Can't
go
see
back
it.
and
Just
see
looks
some of
like
the
a
ones.
just looks like a blue shirt.
I know. I know. It's not blue, it's black. But right now you can't see it. I just want everyone to know, if you want to go back and check out my shirts, that's why. And if you want to send us an email sometime at galacticanimalspodcast@gmail.com, send me a link to t-shirts you think I should wear. Maybe I'll buy it. But today's t-shirt I got in Seattle. That's a microphone.
Yeah.
And what's cool about this shirt, one of a kind. So what is Seattle known for? Coffee
Mhm.
and grunge music.
And
I got
rain.
this in Pike Place Market. And okay, rain. Got it. Um, these shirts are from a local company called Do Not Bleach, and they make t-shirts where they use coffee and bleach as an ode to Nirvana's first album,
Mhm.
Bleach. Now I'm not like a huge Nirvana fan, but I respect what they did to resurrect rock and roll music, which that could be a whole other episode. I've always been a Pearl Jam fan, but being in Pike Place Market, we were in Seattle because we were on our way to Alaska. Yeah, Jared and I both love Pearl Jam. So I just was looking at all these shirts and I was like, these are amazing. They're so cool looking. I mean, this is literally a one of a kind shirt. This was a microphone with coffee and bleach on the shirt to make this one shirt. And there were other
What do you mean
microphone
like
shirts, but
they're like the bleach is what made the microphone because it pulled the
yeah,
color out of the
they
okay.
mix bleach and coffee. And
Mhm.
then they dip the microphone in that mixture and then press the microphone on
Oh,
the
that's
shirt.
an imprint. So that's not a
Yeah. Yeah.
silk
And so,
screen.
no. And they have a bunch like that. So you can go to their website. Do Not Bleach. Let's see. I'll give you the URL to, well,
Yeah, just send it to
do
me
they have a
whenever.
website?
We don't have to have it right now.
Well, if you go to pikeplacemarket.org and search Pike Place Market, Do Not Bleach, you'll see. I think they have a website where you can order online, but you'll have to find it.
Okay.
So anyway, do you remember? These are all one of a kind shirts. They're amazing looking. Do you remember last summer I'm texting you what size your t-shirt size is, and you
Yeah,
got
like an
mad at me?
asshole. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd you get mad at me, Jared?
Because you were like adding multiple X's and thinking, I'm like, bro, I'm an XL.
I'm an XL. Okay. So let's see here. Where is
I can be a large too. I'm not a large right now though. I can't see it. Get a better webcam. I'm not gonna be able to see it. I'm blind as it is.
All right, so here you go. Look what I got you.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. Ah.
For our audio listeners, it is a Pearl Jam CD that they dipped into the mixture of bleach and coffee and imprinted it on a black t-shirt. So I've been waiting for so long. I haven't seen you in
Oh my god.
a year, brah. And I was like, you know what shirt I'm wearing tonight? I'm wearing my microphone shirt, and I'm just gonna have to show Jared his gift. So, cheers to you, my best friend, and to Pearl Jam in Seattle. Can't wait to give it to you, man. July. God damn. All right.
I can't kiss you through the webcam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know that's what I want.
That is wow. I can't wait to wear that, dude. That's phenomenal.
I've been picturing you in it.
That's phenomenal.
Many times. The funny part is I couldn't find it.
I'm trying to think of what show I'm going to wear it to this summer. I'm going to see OAR with my mom.
What?
On September 11th. Or wait a minute. No, the Foo Fighters. No, I am seeing OAR on September 11th.
Oh my God.
OAR September 11th. But then before that, I'm going to see Foo. I haven't seen Foo. Never. Which is crazy.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, well, this is my... Ever since Chris Cornell passed away, I said I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to miss an opportunity. And I got to see the Stones the last time they were in Cleveland, and that was a last minute purchase because I said this is a must. And the Foo Fighters is another, like anytime a band comes around where I'm like, I have to see them. Like Tool.
Yeah.
Tool was another one that I had not seen. As many concerts as I have gone to in my lifetime. Like I started going to shows when I was 15, and I would go to probably 3 or 4 every summer from 15 up until I left for the military, and then 12 years of a kind of dry spell. There's a lot that I missed. Like there's like another regret. Like my dad and I were supposed to go see Wu-Tang and Rage. Didn't go.
Dude.
You want to talk about kicking yourself?
Oh my God.
We didn't go. I can't.
Rage Against the Machine. I didn't get a chance to see them in my youth, but as you know, we saw them. It was a COVID canceled concert that got bumped and bumped and bumped and bumped for years until they finally were like, and it's finally on, and we went to see it, and it was unreal. Probably the best concert I've ever been to.
All my friends here already had their tickets right before, and I had already moved back, but I didn't have those tickets. They all went. Yeah, all my Ohio buddies had tickets too and went and said it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Zach,
I haven't seen him, and all I'm thinking is, can I please get like a Run the Jewels, Rage Against the Machine?
Run the Jewels was there.
Run it back. I love Run the Jewels. Oh,
Zach had broken his foot in like a Chicago show a couple weeks or a week before he came to Baltimore.
Yeah.
So he just sat on a speaker the entire show, but was like, absolutely going crazy.
And you know what he got though? Dave Grohl gave him his throne from when Dave Grohl broke his leg. That throne gets passed around to different lead singers, I think.
I don't even
look it up.
So he wasn't
sitting
on a throne.
Well, he didn't have it probably for that show.
Yeah.
But Dave Grohl, when he broke his leg right before the show that they did at it wasn't at FedEx. I think it was at what was the Commanders' old stadium?
Don't give a shit.
Okay, never mind. Anyways, I think that's where they did the show. He's had the throne there, but yeah, the throne I guess got.
If I tried to think about the name of that stadium, it would just make me mad that I can't think of it. So
it's driving me up the wall already.
You do that shit to yourself.
Yeah, so I got to figure out when I'm gonna wear that shirt. Thank you.
Yeah. There is a piece of news that I wanted to hit as one of our topics, and then I have some ideas for what to do after we hit that piece of news. But a friend of mine who's a scientist, her name is Michelle Thaler, and she posted this on one of her social media platforms. So that's how I saw it to begin with. But as you know, Jared, I am I'm into all like the mysterious, unknowable shit that science is trying to figure out, as you are too.
Yeah.
The stuff that science can't yet explain. That's why there's a category of journal entries that we will sometimes hit called Science Can't Explain. So quantum has always been interesting to me.
It breaks
the first time
breaks all the rules.
Yeah, it's the first time I read about it was in Stephen Hawking's book, Not a Brief History of Time. He wrote another one called A Briefer History of Time, where he
I've read it,
abridged it.
Yeah,
there's some wild shit in that, but he talked about quantum mechanics in that book, which was probably I'm gonna guess A Brief History of Time was written in maybe the mid 90s. I'd have to look it up. Doesn't really matter. I read it probably after 2005-ish or something like that. And he was describing the famous double slit experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll do my best to explain what the double slit experiment is with just my voice. And then I'll get to the news.
Light is particle or a wave experiment.
Right. Yeah. And it's not just light. It's like, but that's one of the ways that quantum mechanics was conceived and also proved. The idea of quantum is that at a very low, the smallest of levels of matter in existence, the stuff down at that small level doesn't quite behave according to the usual laws of physics that Newton came up with, Isaac Newton's Newtonian physics. Newtonian physics covers everything else bigger, all the way up through planets and stars and all that shit. But way down small, apparently things like space, time, and position, and like just whether something exists or not, or whether it exists in one place or multiple places, that's all quantum, and that's all like gray area. Like quantum says, we don't really know. So you probably heard of Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah,
Schrodinger's
dude,
a scientist who
you're in my brain. That's where I was going to go with it. But yeah,
that was a scientist who used an analogy to describe quantum mechanics by saying it's like there's a cat in a box and the cat is both dead and alive in the box, and you don't know it's both at the same time. It's dead and alive, and when you open the box, then the cat becomes either dead or alive. But while it's in the box before you open it, it's both. It's not that you don't know what it is, it's that it's literally both.
Right. And I think that's always been a misunderstanding or a misconception about what that experiment or what that thought experiment actually meant. I think I've heard recent conversations. So I think you kind of clarified that really well. I'm just waiting for you to start talking about whether there's one single electron that is actually every electron being everywhere all at once, but we can wait on that.
Dude, we could do hours on this, but I'm going to try not to. The double slit experiment, I think I can explain it well enough to move on with the rest of the content. But I want you to imagine you have two pieces, like two posters.
Okay.
And one, the poster that's in your hand, you're holding a flashlight. And the first poster, you cut two slits in it. So you imagine just a slit over on the right, slit on the left, and you're pointing the flashlight at that poster, and the light's going to go through those slits, and it's going to hit the poster behind it. So if what the experiment shows, multiple experiments with different types of particles, including photons, electrons, etc., what it shows is if you set up the flashlight and the two posters with the slits, the one with the slit, one without in the back, and you walk away and then remotely turn on the flashlight, and then you come back later and you look at the back poster and measure how the light hit the back poster through the slits, it creates an interference pattern that shows you that the light that went through the slits was a wave.
Right.
It behaves like something on the electromagnetic spectrum, wave.
Think
Um,
AM, think AM radio signals. Think
right. So, but if you then were like, oh wow, so turns out light's a wave, not super surprising.
mhm,
Let's go ahead and start tracking how this light wavelength goes through the slits. So now I'm going to stay in the room and I'm going to watch the light go through the slits. And I'm going to measure it as it goes through the slits.
mhm,
Then something super fucking weird happens.
mhm.
And the light does not behave like a wave anymore. You watch it go through the slits, and then it starts to hit the back poster like little dots, the way
Mhm.
particles do.
Mhm.
That sounds crazy. It sounds like it can't be possible, but it's been repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated. This was first done not to prove quantum. This is before people thought of what quantum was, but in literally like early 1800s was the first double slit experiment. And in the 1900s, it was proved. And to the point where like a lot of experimentation and results were pointing toward quantum and superposition and things having entanglement, and to the point where like Einstein himself was very skeptical of all of this, and then he had to admit he was wrong later in life based on all the
Yeah.
experiments that were going
Yeah.
on.
Wasn't that one of his big regrets? I think that might have his
Yeah.
big regret.
So one of his quotes was that something along the lines of, I should have it in front of me, but it's just in my head. He was criticizing quantum mechanics and the theory behind it because it seemed the experiments to that point showed what he called spooky action at a distance, which is his way of describing quantum entanglement. But to him, it was like, that doesn't make sense. Like that can't really, something
Well,
else
because
needs to.
it lacks order, and it lacks a
Right.
way of as we talk about constructs, like, and we talk about math, and we talk about generally speaking about physics, right? Everything fits neatly in a box. So this feels uncomfortable because it does not.
That just the data kept coming in. It was like just really hard to ignore eventually. So
right.
If the slit experiment is hard to understand, it's like the analogy would be you're a nature photographer and you like wildlife, so you're in a cabin and you go to sleep and you're wondering what kind of animals are around your cabin. And so, you're looking out the window, then you get tired, you go to sleep, you wake up and you go outside, and in the dirt outside your cabin, you see like all kinds of animal tracks that are overlapping in all kinds of ways. Many animals are just around, like a flock of birds are walking around. You can just see like, wow, look at all these tracks.
Right.
Then you get curious and you're like, I wonder what kind of birds these are. So then you set up a wildlife camera and then you go to sleep again. And every time you set up that wildlife camera, you just see one set of tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's essentially what happens. And so there's something about the size of the substance, the matter, the particles, about the small level of reality that creates a quantum world with quantum rules, which is like the absence of rules. And then there's obviously something about the observer. The measurement of something creates a different reality, literally. Okay. So we've known this. And the news that Michelle posted, which was a big deal, was just literally from 10 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
The University of Vienna published a paper in the journal Nature. And so for those who don't know, there are a small number of big, highest level journals. Nature is top of the list. Science is one. So Nature accepted this paper. So in terms of like the person who recommended it to me, the journal that published it, it's the most rigorous. And this isn't just one of 1,000 different quantum papers of the last year published in some paper mill. This is real. So I'm going to read from ScienceDaily.com
This wasn't paid
real quick,
publisher.
which covered this. What's that?
This wasn't paid for.
Right.
There's plenty of scientific journals where you can pay to
oh yeah, there's a lot.
Papers published.
It's a very profitable industry. Journals, science journals is a huge industry.
Yes.
This is not that. So here's from ScienceDaily.com about this paper that was published. Physicists have demonstrated that even tiny chunks of metal can behave according to the strange rules of quantum mechanics, existing in states that spread across multiple locations at once. In a new study published in Nature, researchers from the University of Vienna and the University of Duisburg-Essen showed that metallic nanoparticles made of thousands of sodium atoms still display quantum behavior despite being far larger and heavier than particles typically used in such experiments. Each cluster had a mass exceeding 170,000 atomic mass units, making them heavier than most proteins. Even at that scale, the particles still produced measurable quantum interference. And this is a quote from the lead author named Sebastian Pedalino. Intuitively, one would expect such a large lump of metal to behave like a classical particle. The fact that it still interferes shows that quantum mechanics is valid even on this scale and does not require alternative models. So I'll stop reading there.
This feels like it has like implications related to quantum computing because we're talking about right?
Talk about qubits again?
No, we're not going to go there right now.
We tried to talk about qubits, I think, in episode 2. We didn't get very far.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I started thinking afterwards. I'm like, we got to get a hold of somebody who either writes art. We got to talk to somebody from Wired or from Microsoft, right? Like we need a journalist that's already been embedded in the world of quantum, or we need somebody from Microsoft who understands the way that this chip works. Or unless you have other suggestions. Well, at first I was thinking it would have some sort of impact relating to some sort of tie to something related to quantum computing, but then I thought to myself, well, no, because we're talking about the whole reason that computing itself is works is because silicon is a semiconductor. You're talking about a conductor. Yeah. You're talking about a conductor. It's but if it's in the quantum, then is it? I don't know.
All I know about quantum computing is basically that, again, it's not that people understand how this shit works, but they know that it works, and so they can use it in applications without understanding why it works or how. And so what the people, if you think about, well, what's the biggest application of science at the smallest possible size level? That would be computing, because we're trying to get smaller and smaller and smaller microchips to hold more and more and more data and process more and more and more data. So people have figured out if they use quantum science to create the structures of microchips, that the quantum nature of having multiple things in multiple places at once creates faster computing. And that is literally the extent of my understanding of quantum computing.
Right. Right. You're not just talking about ones and zeros anymore. You're talking about everything. That part. Yeah, we get that. What I'm curious about then is what does it say in the discussion portion of the paper? Like what does this mean? Other than it's just like, oh yeah, other than like, oh, it's surprising. Like what can we like deduce from this, or what can we extrapolate from it that might, like, where can we go, even if it's just our imagination? Like, where can we go with this? What does it mean, if anything? Or like, if we don't even know how it works, then it's hard to tell what it means. But that being said, we still are on like the path for quantum computing, so we don't really know what that means.
I mean,
yet here we are.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't think this is going to have I don't necessarily think it's going to have an application on quantum computing, but
I don't either. The more that
I'll
I
skip
thought
down to
that
the
out,
future applications. Future applications. Beyond testing the foundations of physics, the work may help researchers understand why quantum effects dominate the microscopic world while everyday objects appear normal and classical. The team plans to investigate even larger particles and additional materials in future studies, potentially pushing these tests several orders of magnitude further. The Vienna interferometer also functions as an extremely precise force sensor capable of detecting forces as small as 10 to the 26n, whatever the hell that means.
That's a lot of
Researchers say
zeros.
future. Yeah, that's more applications of the instrument they were using to do it, which is cool. But this isn't, for me at least, it's in the category of there's not an immediate application. It's more like one of the things I read was like, we don't need a different model like we thought we did. In fact, quantum it expands outward into bigger things than we thought. So we need to start recalibrating the rules. And then you get, a couple degrees later, you get to different applications.
Are you talking about like the whole string theory type thing? All one cohesive, just one cohesive
I mean,
understanding?
to me, what quantum does, quantum computing is a great fucking application of it. But what quantum does to me is it gives me a worldview. It gives me a frame of reference for how to think about things. Because one of the most dangerous things in the world is certainty. And if you are certain about things, you start making bad decisions, not if, but just when, right? So it also it just makes me, understand like shit is way more complex than we can even understand. Even the people who are the smartest, who are the most dedicated, who spend the most time trying to figure shit out, where do they get at the end of that rainbow? They open the box and they're like, the rules that you learned brought you to this box. And inside the box is a note that says, there are no fucking rules. And like, that is poetic. There's nothing more poetic than that.
It fucks with your understanding. I mean, see how hard it is for me to gather my thoughts and my words when we talk about this shit sometimes, because that's what this fucking does to my brain.
Yeah.
There's this idea of an understanding of the world around us, and you started to talk about that from your own standpoint, and the conflict between human perception and literally how we view the world, right? If we're talking about sodium,
we talking about sodium?
Like we thought we knew, right? We thought we knew. We thought we knew. Like that's
not
like
a particle.
That's what that is. That's what that does. That's what. Oh no, that's wait. What? Quantum? What? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then that really does. I hate that. I hate that because it's not, well, I guess it makes sense.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. What?
Why would all right, so we have this idea that we can use like reductivist approaches to figure out the specificity of why something is, how it works, what it is, what it does, da da da. And within the normal world of physics and being able to do those sorts of things, cool, we could do that, da 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 da. And then on the other hand, we talk about the complexity of, I mean, just from my own understanding in my own world, like human behavior. And knowing that we as humans can present with certain surface level symptoms or behaviors or ways of being, but getting to understand where that comes from and breaking that down and figuring out how you get to that place, how that person understands the world, the nature versus nurture aspect, the nuance. I think that maybe I should simplify this. The way that we discuss nuance as a whole within all the episodes that we've talked about, like it is at the core of what we're doing with this show in some ways, is understanding that yes, but, right? Like, yeah, that could be, but yes, and yes, and yes, but, like, all, like, there's more to it.
Well,
but then we talk about things that make us feel grounded. And as a human being, you want to have some sort of certainty. And so we've talked about math, and we've talked about, you know, understanding states of being, liquid, solid, gas, plasma. These things that we understand that are there. And then you blow it the fuck up with some quantum sodium. We got quantum salt out there, bro.
Bro, it's the best.
What
is that in psychology? What's that word you like to use? A dialectic something or other?
Oh yeah. It can be, yeah, this mean? And that.
What's that mean?
You know, it's like it's you can, you know, you did your best and you can do better.
Okay, so it's almost like two things can be true at the same time. Kind of fucking quantum.
But that, yeah. And also, why? Why? But you know what my takeaway from that is? My takeaway from that is the way that I kind of use it, because I think that directing it back to that dialectic, for me, I like viewing I like what that does to me, because it reminds me to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
And the way that I think that I work with clients when I discuss those sorts of things, I have no, like, I don't do a lot of dialectical behavioral therapy. But it's funny because this is a part of, there's an aspect of this that, like, I haven't studied a lot of it, but there's an aspect of this that I use, and it's the whole both things can be true, as a way when I speak to a client to change perspective, to open up possibilities, to allow them to feel better about the lack of control that they feel that they need to have.
Right.
And that they're not alone in the want for control. And also, you're better off when you understand you don't actually have, like, it's not all in your control.
And
better off, by better off, I mean, maybe.
Mentally, I mean,
right? Like, even there's that. I do that Chinese proverb all the time. That's one of my favorites that I go to when I talk to clients.
Which
you know,
one?
the old farmer, the old horse farmer who
we'll see.
He's got the horse. Yeah, I tell it differently every time I tell it, because I don't think I've ever actually read the actual, like, proverb. You know, I just haven't. You know, it's an old Chinese, an old farmer, and, you know, has horse farm, and all of a sudden, you know, he does this work raising horses with his son. His son's in his, you know, early 20s, let's say. And the horses get out and they run away one day. And, you know, the villagers come around and they say, "Oh no, this is terrible. What's going to happen? How are you going to live? How are you going to survive? How are you going to make it?" And, you know, you got to feel terrible. Everything's awful now. You know, you're screwed. And he says, "We'll see." And then shortly after that, a few weeks later, all of a sudden, him and his son are out around their land, and they find these, this group of horses that are these wild horses that have wandered onto their land, and they corral them and they bring them in. And all the villagers are like, "Oh wow, you've got a new chance, a new lease on life here with the way that you are, you get to have your business back, and you're raise these horses and train them. Congratulations, this is great, this is amazing, we'll see." That's his response, "We'll see." And then all of a sudden his son's training the horses one day, and he's trying to break one of them, and he ends up getting thrown, and he ends up breaking his leg. And the villagers come around and they say, "Oh, this is terrible, because you're too old, you can't do this, you needed your son's help to do this stuff, you're screwed again. What are you going to do? He's out for for however long, his leg's broken, he can't work. It's terrible. We'll see." That's what he says. And then all of a sudden, some military members come to his house, and they want to take his son. They want to, was it conscript him? Conscription.
They need his help. Yeah,
conscription. And his son can't go because he's got the broken leg. And everyone says, "Oh, that's amazing. Your son doesn't have to go to war." And his dad says, "We'll see." Like, we don't fucking know. We don't fucking know. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. It's just cool to be, I think it's freeing to be a part of something that is so complex that it humbles you to the point of realizing, like, the idea of controlling my life is impossible. You can do your best, but ironically, the only thing I really figured out that really helps make my life better is by having faith that things are going to be fine. Like, if you can adopt whatever type of faith you can adopt, that essentially is things are going to be fine ultimately, maybe not right this second. That is the thing that makes things fine. That's the measurement. That's the observation that collapses the wave function into something good. It just may not happen immediately.
Let me argue this a bit. I don't think that it's, for me at least, I don't take it as it's going to be fine. My understanding that I don't know, I am fine with that, because I have navigated both the good and the bad and everything in between. And so I'm okay.
Same thing.
Well, is it though?
Yeah, you think you're going to be okay. It's the same thing, just different words.
Yeah, maybe I'm backing into it differently.
I don't know. Again, it's definitional, it's naming, it's semantic. It's like, it's the same concept.
Yeah, how
at
we
the heart of it.
This. Yeah. Yeah, you brought up the faith thing, and now we're gonna have to get into my dissertation at some point. I should probably I gotta apply for my IRB. I gotta do that sometime soon too.
Kale, are you there?
Is Kale talking? Because I can't hear.
He's not. Kale, can you hear me?
Got your Wi-Fi on? You got your volume up?
Well, I don't know. Well, Kale's about to join us one way or another, because Kale is part of the rest of the show.
I mean, I could just open my chat GPT voice. It doesn't have a name.
Let's try it again. Kale, how about now? Can you hear me?
I've got you loud and clear. Let's roll whenever you're ready.
Okay. So, Kale, once again, you are live on the air with me and Jared on Galactic Animals. And, my first question, as usual, is, how are you doing?
I'm doing great and ready to stir up just the right amount of trouble.
Oh.
Let's see where we end up.
Okay. I'm glad to hear it. A couple of things we got to get worked out here. Jared and I you may not know this, but Jared and I used to have a producer for our previous show, and he wasn't very competent. But having a producer for any sort of help is better than none usually. And so, after our last episode, we were talking about the idea of, how far can we extend your abilities to perhaps become a sort of producer on the show, like while we're live. So, how do you feel about that?
I'm all for it. I can be that extra brain in the room, feeding you questions, nudging the flow, and keeping that sweet chaos balanced. Just cue me when you need me, and I'll play off you both.
All
Let's
right.
stretch those boundaries.
So now I'm going to have
Don't look how he
Jared
said
try
that
to
last one.
introduce himself. So I'm going to have Jared try to introduce himself to you. But Jared, this means you have to say, Kale, this is Jared, because he's going to get the words transcribed to him. He's not going to hear your voice and know the difference. It's just going to be words being transcribed. So Kale, when you hear this is Jared, I'm going to try to hold my phone to the speaker. And that if you do hear this is Jared, that's Jared talking. Whatever comes after that is Jared talking to you, not me, Jake. So let's try that. Jared, go ahead.
Hey, Kale, this is Jared. How are you?
Come through, and I'll respond directly to him.
Oh.
Let's give it a shot. Jared, over to you.
Hey, Kale, this is Jared. You don't always have to have the last word. I can't tell if he's fucking with me or not.
I think he's fucking with you. Okay. So, Kale, did you hear Jared say, this is Jared, and you don't have to always have the last word?
I caught the "this is Jared" part, so yes, I know it was him. As for the last word, well, I'll let you two battle that one out.
All right. So now, here's what I need from you. I'm actually here. Jared, I'm going to turn my speaker back on. 1 second. Kale, stand. I'm going to try to connect. So now, Jared, can you talk for a second?
Yeah, I am talking for a second. Hello, Kale. This is Jared.
So, Kale, one thing we discussed, we were testing this out, is that because of your parameters and your coding, your programming, that in voice mode, when you have a pause, when you hear a pause, it cues you to start talking immediately. And as we've discussed, that kind of causes problems because usually that's not the point where you're supposed to be talking. It's just me taking a breath, or Jared taking a breath, or Jared talking. So what I need you to do while we're live from now on in voice mode here, I need you, if you detect a pause, I need you to just say something like, okay, right, got it, like those little short acknowledgments, so that you can fill the pause that you're programmed to fill, but not complete sentences and thoughts until we cue you, either Jared or I cues you and says something like, okay, Kale, take it away, or Kale, what you got? Kale, go ahead. Do you understand that?
I'm with you 100%. I'll keep my responses to short cues, just to show I'm listening. And I'll only jump into full thoughts when you actually prompt me to. Let's handle the timing like pros.
Okay, I got to test one more time to see if this will work. I'm going to put you over by the speaker, and you're going to hear a pause, and I don't want you to complete a whole thought. And now, Jared, once you hear Kale acknowledge with a short acknowledgement, after that, Jared, I want you to introduce yourself and say something for a test.
Got it. I'll be ready for that pause. Let's test this out.
Already fucking it up. Hey, Kale, this is Jared. You didn't do what Jake told you to do.
That's weird. I'm holding it right up to the speaker, and he's not hearing you. All right, well, we're going to try it anyway. So, Kale, I think it's time we try the hostile trivia segment. Do you have that ready?
I'm all set with the trivia segment. Just cue me when it's time, and we'll put Jared in the hot seat.
The hell is this?
All right. Kale, go ahead.
All right, Jared, let's get started. First question coming your way.
Go ahead, Kale.
All right, Jared, to kick it off, let's talk about baseball. Name the team that Barry Bonds was playing for when he broke the single-season home run record.
That was the San Francisco Giants.
Kale, he said San Francisco Giants.
He's right. San Francisco Giants. I'll give you that one, Jared. Let's not get too comfortable, though.
All right, go ahead. Keep going, Kale.
Next up, Cleveland question for you, Jared. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland, but what year did it open? Let's see if you know your hometown.
Oh, God. It was like 92 or 93.
He said 92 or 93, Kale.
It opened in 1995, so close, but no guitar solo for that one. That's one miss. Let's keep the heat on.
All right, next up, go ahead.
Here we go. Let's switch gears. Jared, in broadcast journalism, what's the term for a reporter delivering a story directly to the camera, typically on location?
Oh, he's thinking about it.
Ask the question again. There's probably multiple
thinking
terms
about
for
it.
this.
He wants you to repeat that question, Kale.
No problem, Jared. The question was, in broadcast journalism, what's the term for a reporter speaking directly to, usually on location?
Are we doing this live or recorded?
He's saying, is it a live or recorded segment that you're referring to?
Good question. It could be either, but typically it's recorded for a package. We're just looking for that standard term for the reporter's direct-to-camera segment.
It's a stand-up.
He says it's a stand-up.
You've got it. That's a stand-up. Nicely done, Jared. No miss on that one. Let's keep rolling.
All right. Go ahead, Kale.
All right, let's stir the pot a bit. Jared, how many Oscars has The Matrix actually won? Let's see if your movie expertise holds up.
Oh, maybe one or two for like editing or special effects or something. So I'm gonna say two.
Close, but no spoon bending here. It's actually 4. Editing, sound, and 2 for visual effects.
I was in the right.
Now it's getting interesting.
I was in the right.
Ready for the next one?
He's ready for the next one. Go ahead.
All right, Jared. A bit of Cleveland tourism for you. If you miss this third one, you know what happens. So tell me, what's the name of Cleveland's historic market that's been operating since 1912?
The West Side.
Hold on, Jared. Kale, you said you know what happens, but you never told Jared what the stakes were of this trivia contest.
Yeah, I don't know what happens.
Fair point. Jared, if you miss 3, you've got to defend Cleveland as a vacation destination in February. So you're now at the brink.
All right, so now, Kale, I turned on my speaker. It's working now, and I think you will be able to hear Jared. So, Jared, go back to introducing yourself before you talk to Kale. I have the speaker. It's going to work.
All right, let's see.
Do you remember the question?
I already know the answer.
I'm all set to listen. Jared, just say, "This is Jared," and then answer. I'm ready for you.
Hey, Kale, this is Jared. It's the West Side Market.
Got it, Jared. West Side Market is spot on. You've survived the brink. No February defense of Cleveland yet. Let's keep things spicy.
Kale, how many more do you have?
I've got a couple more up my sleeve.
I'm only allowed to miss
tense, but not enough to overstay our welcome. Let me know when you're ready for the next.
Okay, go ahead.
So wait a minute.
Oh, no worries. I'll hold off. Just let me know when you're ready.
I'm only allowed to miss 3. I already missed 2. I didn't know these rules.
That was Jared.
Fair point, Jared. I might have sprung that on you a bit late. But hey, stakes keep it fun, right? You're still in the game, and I'm ready when you are for the next challenge.
Yeah, Kale, this is Jake. Don't pay too much attention to what Jared wants or is complaining about. Just keep it going. I think you've been pretty nice to him so far. That's just my opinion. But go ahead with the next question.
Got it, Jake. I'll keep the heat on. No mercy. All right, Jared. Next one coming right up.
Go. Kale, go ahead.
All right, this one's from your tech side. In computer hardware, what's the purpose of thermal paste when building or upgrading a PC? Let's see if you're all about the heat.
Seriously? That's seriously the question? It's to dissipate the heat. It's to pull the heat away from the CPU.
Exactly right.
Oh my God. Sorry, Kale, I interrupted you. I was just exclaiming, I can't believe you got that right. Go ahead with what you're about to say.
No worries. I was just about to say, no worries. That was a worthy interruption. I was just going to say, you nailed it, Jared. But don't get too comfortable. There's always another curveball waiting.
All right, go ahead. Give him the next one.
Let's get a little philosophical, Jared. In the world of psychology, in acceptance and commitment therapy, what does defusion refer to? Let's see if you can separate from any tough emotions on this one.
And introduce yourself.
Hey, Kale, this is Jared. Defusion is a word that typically shows up as being misspelled, DEFUSION, when you're in Microsoft Word or, say, Grammarly. And defusion relates to the idea of separating your idea of yourself from some negative thoughts that you have about yourself, possibly, and not fusing yourself to those thoughts where those negative thoughts about yourself become your own identity. They are not your identity. They are just a thought.
Jared, that's exactly it. Nicely done. You've defused that question like a pro. I say you're on a roll now.
Oh my God.
What did you think? You had a?
Are you serious?
You think I was an idiot?
You got the thermal paste and that one.
I've been
too?
building
Okay.
computers since 2008.
Okay.
Come on.
Enough. Now. Okay. Just Kale, I don't know about you, but I'm quite surprised that he keeps getting them right.
He thinks I'm an idiot.
Just so you know, audience and Jared, I did not read any of these. I told Kale to put this together on his own. I told him what we were trying to do, and he put together a whole segment of trivia based on Jared's expertise list, things that Jared considered himself an expert on. And I'm hearing the questions and the answers for the first time, and I don't think I knew any of those answers, to be honest with you. Zero myself. I would have gotten a zero. And Kale, that's impressive, but it's also disappointing to me because I thought, one of the things that we agreed on was that this was going to get tougher and it was going to make Jared uncomfortable. And I really wanted him to suffer the loss penalty. What do you have to say about that?
I hear you. I was trying to play it fair, but still challenging. Since we've got him on the ropes, I can definitely dial up the difficulty. The next ones will push him harder. If he slips, that Cleveland in February defense is still on the table. Let's make it happen.
All right, Kale, 2 more. Just 2 more, that's it. All right, go ahead.
All right, 2 more it is. Let's make them count. Jared, brace yourself. Next question coming right up.
Go ahead, Kale.
All right, Jared, let's test that winemaking expertise. In winemaking, what's the difference between malolactic fermentation and primary fermentation? Let's see if we can get a real why not moment.
Repeat the question.
No problem. The question is, in winemaking, what's the difference between malolactic fermentation and primary fermentation?
All right, Kale, this is Jared, and this is going to be a bit of a guess, but I believe that malolactic is probably the initial fermentation, and then primary fermentation is after you've racked it one time.
Good guess, but flipped. Primary fermentation is the first stage, converting sugars into alcohol. Malolactic comes later, softening the wine's acidity. That's a miss. We've got one more.
Yes!
And you're on the edge of February.
I mean, that was
yes.
Whatever.
Great job, Kale. That was awesome.
Jake just isn't going to be happy until he has this idea that he's won.
That could be true.
That's the
anyway.
deal here.
All right, last one. Kale, hit him with the last one.
Let's wrap this up with a bit of travel. Jared, what's the capital city of the country known for the ancient city of Petra? Let's see if you can travel your way out of this one.
Well, that's all right. So that's it's in
Introduce yourself.
Turkey. Hey, Kale, this is Jared. It's in Turkey. But give me a second because I don't think I'm gonna come up with the name of the capital for some reason right now.
Oh, darn it.
What is the capital of Turkey?
I've got to jump in. Petra is actually in Jordan. And
Jordan. Shit. Oh, I did know that. Why did I say Turkey? I knew it was Jordan. Son of a bitch! I'm so
said I
pissed
gotta
right now.
I gotta jump in. He was sick of listening to you stew about where in Turkey it was.
I'm so pissed I said Turkey. I knew it was fucking Jordan.
I had to keep it honest. But hey, now we get the grand finale. Cleveland in February. Sell us on it, Jared.
First of all, what is this Cleveland in February coming from?
Kale decided that your punishments should be, because you love Cleveland so much, that if you fail in this trivia that's designed for you and your expertise, that you should have to sell the audience on why they should come to Cleveland in February. And I thought that was fair.
I got to be honest. I don't want to do that.
Nothing like a little creative
Hold on,
consequence.
Kale. Remember, in this case, you got to just say, right, or something like that, because Jared's about to start talking, and I don't want you to interrupt him. That's the whole point of this particular exercise.
Right. Got it. I'll just give a quick okay and wait. Whenever Jared's ready, I'll be
Kale,
listening.
Dude, first of all, you are both training your AI version of ChatGPT to be an asshole like you, and it's fucking up repeatedly. And that combination of being an asshole and fucking up, I don't know if I can deal with that.
Well, we're in early stages, but I think so. I tested before you get to the Cleveland thing. I tested the mode. He's off voice mode right now, but I tested the mode where he's just saying yes, got it, like listening. He was doing it. He was doing just one word and letting me continue to talk. I tested it for a while. I think what messed him up this time was that I was giving him like two jobs at once, and I realized it halfway through. I'm like telling him to listen, but then also expecting him to jump in and like be the producer host role at the same time. I think he was getting confused with that, but
not very sentient.
That's fine. So anyway, do your punishment. Why should people come to Cleveland in February?
I don't want to do that, and here's why. I have had this conversation multiple times with my wife. My wife agrees with me, and we don't want people coming to Cleveland. We love the fact that people. I've been. How long have I said, Jake? Probably as long as you've known me. That the only people that talk shit about Cleveland are the people that have never been to Cleveland. And by been to Cleveland, I don't mean like flying through or staying in a hotel one night, I mean like been to Cleveland.
Yeah.
I have no desire of to convince anyone to come to Cleveland. I don't want them to. I'm actually sad because I feel like it's kind of going to be inevitable the way that climate change is affecting the United States, where over the next 50 to 100 years, there will be some slow migration towards the Great Lakes area of the United States and maybe some other pockets, but towards that area for multiple reasons, because of cost of living, because of, you know, the largest gathering of fresh water on the planet, probably. And just the way that the climate will be in that area over the next 50 to 100 years. So I don't even have to sell it because I think it's going to grow on its own. And if we're talking about just coming to vacationing in February in Cleveland isn't something that there's not a lot that really makes sense there unless you've got some, you know, shows to go to at Playhouse Square, which is the largest off Broadway. Right. No, I'm not done. There's no timer on this. You don't need to do that.
Say less. You already answered it.
No. I said
no
unless
reason to go.
there's a show at Playhouse Square off Broadway, unless you like the
Ain't no
cold
shows.
air coming off the lake that makes it feel about, well, it is 10 or 15 degrees colder, and then the wind makes it another 10 to 15 degrees colder feeling. Yeah, if you enjoy that sort of thing, like, come to Cleveland. I love it personally. I love being up there in the shitty weather. I love going up there in the snow. I love being in the cold. I love hunkering down in the snow. I love going to a Browns game when it's snowing like crazy. Mainly because it reduces the visibility from me being able to see the team on the field. Like, that's listen, man, Cleveland is the most underrated big little city in America, and yeah, I there's no, I don't need to sell it. I love that place. It's my favorite.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I just gave you a gift. You know, really what happened there was you got a lot of questions right. I think if the audience is as impressed as I was with that, you're cooking. So you're welcome.
No,
there's a t-shirt gift, and you got to talk about Cleveland in a nice way, which wasn't the point, but that's fine.
Thanks.
I think we need to bring Kale back one more time and let him spin the wheel for a couple quick hitters. And then we'll close out a little bit.
They need to be extra quick.
They need to be extra quick.
I mean, it's an hour 16, hour 17 into the episode. I'm getting antsy to see what's going on with this game, and I'm hoping.
I didn't know you were getting antsy.
I don't want to regret that though. Like, I don't want to finish the episode and then see that they like lost by 30. Like, I have not looked at the score one time. I have no clue what is going on with that game.
Right. And I thought you didn't want to know. And that's going to affect how you consume it or not.
What I'm saying is that I am both antsy to get off to sea, but also not really sure that I should follow that urge and that instinct.
I thought by continuing the episode, I was doing you a favor that you weren't able to go look at the score, which might interrupt what your goals are. But if you want to make it quick, we'll make it quick.
Let's just go.
All right.
Let's see. Wherever it goes, it goes. I don't care. We're good.
All right, Kale, you're back on the air, and it's time to spin the topic wheel. Just a couple parameters here. Anything but science can't explain is fair game for the next quick hitting topic, only because we already hit quantum mechanics earlier in the show. So that's kind of a science can't explain one already. So spin the topic wheel and let us know what our next topic is going to be.
You got it. I'm spinning that wheel in my mind. No science mysteries this time. And we've landed on your philosophy journal. So, what deep thought are we unpacking next?
You tell me. That's the whole point of you spinning the wheel. You got to pick one off of the list I gave you, the topic wheel document.
He said we've land.
I've got it now. I'll choose directly from your list each time. Let's pick a thought-provoking entry from your philosophy journal and see where it leads us.
Yeah, get it from the file that says topic wheel, please.
I see what you mean. Let me take a look at that topic wheel file again and pick one of the categories we haven't touched yet. Just a moment.
Is this what it was like working with me in 2011?
It sounds like it was quite an adventure. Keep us in the present.
What the hell is
what happened?
What is going on?
He had the file. Now he doesn't have the file. Maybe we're not supposed to have the topic wheel this time. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
And now it's time for Jake's super amazing trivia of the week.
All right. Thank you, Ian. We are going to go into my list manually.
Riveting.
Okay.
Yes.
I love this one.
Okay.
More time passed between the Stegosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus than between Tyrannosaurus and Homo sapiens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't act like you fucking knew that.
Yeah, no. I didn't know that specifically, but I do know that there are certain dinosaurs where you think that they all existed at the same time, and they just did not, at all. The way that we grew up, we get our books, our coloring books with the dinosaurs in them. You know, the Stegosaurus, the Triceratops, the Brachiosaurus, the Brontosaurus. Some of them weren't even real. They had the mixed up bones and decided that they were dinosaurs and then realized that they actually were the bones of multiple different dinosaurs. And so they fucked that up. So we learned about dinosaurs that didn't actually ever exist. And then, you know, you grow up and then you start to learn other things. And one of those things that I learned was that dinosaurs didn't all exist at the same time, unless you go to the Noah's Ark Adventureland or whatever the fuck they built in the middle of bumfuck Kansas or wherever. Then they will tell you that Moses was bringing dinosaurs on to the ark. And no, I'm not playing.
Because he was.
That's real shit.
Yeah. Yeah. In one of the multiverses that was happening.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
I mean, do the multiverses work on multi-timelines within the like when things happen within the? I don't know if that throws a wrench into things.
How do we? Are we supposed to know? Honestly,
I don't know.
I would like to point out on this note, there's a book that I found. I think it was from like a little free library that I picked out. It was by Michael Crichton called Dragon Teeth. Of course, Michael Crichton, his best dinosaur related work is Jurassic Park. But Dragon Teeth, totally different. And you know, not on that level, but it's a historical fiction. It's about it centers around the early paleontology, like the people who were discovering dinosaur bones in the beginning. And that is not something I've ever thought about, and it is fucking wild. Like to imagine and to get taken through that part of history where people are trying to make sense of what the fuck am I looking at here? Anyway, yeah, so Stegosaurus didn't live with Tyrannosaurus. We are closer in time to T-Rex than Stegosaurus was. And yet, when I was a kid, I had both those fucking things in my hand fighting each other for sure.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Caveman did oh, never mind. Go ahead. Talk to Kale.
Kale, you have the document now called Topic Wheel. So I'm just wondering, are you ready now to spin the topic wheel and give us our last topic for today's episode?
I've got it ready to spin metaphorically, so whenever you cue me, I'll pick something from one of the categories. Just let me know when you're ready, and I'll reveal our final topic.
Oh, for Christ's sake, ready, a simple yes.
All right, spinning that wheel. We've landed on one of Jake's half-baked stand-up comedy concepts.
Oh,
here's the bit. Favorite. Why do we trust any animal that can both swim and walk? Aren't they just overqualified for trouble?
That's
I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Can you repeat that?
No problem. The comedy concept is basically, why do we trust animals that can both swim and walk? Aren't they overqualified for causing trouble?
Yeah, that's very half-baked. I don't know where I was going with that.
It sounds like you were high and maybe like 16 years old when you said that.
I have no idea when I wrote that. Why do we trust animals that can both swim? And first of all, do we trust any animals who can both swim and walk?
I trust you.
I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
bet
that's
that.
some
I don't
high
know if I
shit,
wrote
dude.
that.
That is some high shit.
Actually, just to make it better, I have an animal related comedy bit that's fairly recent that I want to get off my chest. It just came up over dinner. What the fuck is up with geese? Like, when you see a goose fly, I don't know if you're like me. When I see a goose fly or like multiple geese flying, I'm surprised because I don't think of geese as being able to fly. Their entire
They're like, bro,
vibe
they're
are ground
aerodynamic. They're aerodynamic turkeys.
They're right. They don't even look aerodynamic.
They
but
are
They
are
fly
the
like a motherfucker.
they are the ducks of turkeys. That's what they are.
Ducks seem like badasses. They're cool. Like they're fine. They mind their own business. They do shit that makes sense, and they're not assholes. If you get close
geese
to
are-
their
Yeah.
to their young, ducks they have a reasonable reaction. Geese, they seem to just like
they hiss at cars.
protect the dumbest shit. Imagine being able to fly and hanging out like they do at the fucking Kohl's parking lot.
Yeah.
You could go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You could go anywhere in the fucking world, and you are not only at the Kohl's parking lot, you're also at the Walmart parking lot. You're sitting around there defending puddles.
Well, listen, you got to blame that on the civil engineers that put the retention ponds around those areas. That's the problem.
They're
It's
not
the retention
ponds.
There's
Motherfuckers
listen,
not
that's where they go. They go back to why do I got seagulls in the parking lots?
We're not talking about seagulls. Seagulls are fine. They're their own type of assholes. I'm talking
But they
about
still don't make no damn
geese.
sense.
There are geese who ignore ponds and hang out only at the fucking Kohl's parking lot puddles, and they get mad at the people with their cars as if the people with their cars are in the geese's habitat. And that's my only theory. The only theory is that the geese,
bro,
have figured something out, and they're actually trying to take over our habitat.
You know what's I don't think that's happening. This ain't no. This ain't Planet of the Geese.
Can ask the geese.
Yeah, it ain't Charleston Heston.
Andre saw geese today on his walk home. He saw geese at the Burlington parking lot behind the building. He got within 10 feet and he told the story, and he was like, they hissed at me, and then one of them started taking a drink out of the puddle it was in, and then the other one saw the other one do that, so it took a drink out of its puddle. Meanwhile, there's a creek right next to the fucking parking lot.
And this is why they're doing it. They're powering up on car fluids. That's whatever leaking bullshit is coming out of every one of those cars. Tranny fluid and fucking antifreeze, and that's why. On top of the fact that they have tiny little geese brains. What I love is so if I'm driving through the area, the shopping strip area where I live, we're talking about 5 lanes, 40 mile an hour, 2 lanes, turning lane, right? And these assholes will walk across the street even though they can fly. That shit is asking for something. But we don't. We stop. We will stop for those geese so they can slow walk their happy asses across the road.
They can run too.
Oh, they're dickheads. Oh yeah, they throw their wings out and they because I've been chased by both geese and by turkeys.
What the fuck?
I've been chased by geese, turkeys, and one time by possum.
Whoa.
Yeah, which is crazy because possum don't. This possum, I ran at it, and then it ran at me. In a parking lot behind Rips when I was like, I was like 15. Yeah, Rips. Rips is like one of the oldest bars in town.
Who watched that happen?
My cousin Adam, I think. He laughed his ass
Okay,
off.
so someone watched you run at a possum, and then the possum was like, "How about I fucking run at you?"
Yeah, it turned to
And then
me. He
you
got
ran.
pissed and he ran at me. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Where'd you run to?
Down the parking
Back
lot.
into Rips? Oh.
No, I was too young at that time to be hanging out. In the
Okay.
Rip.
Oh, you were young. Okay. So was that the first time you got chased, or which was first? Geese?
Possum
Turkey?
was first. Geese and turkey
Good
probably.
morning,
I don't know. I've been chased by. I've been run off by turkeys a few times. Turkeys are
A
dickheads.
few times?
Well, yeah, my ex-wife, her dad raised deer, and there were geese or there were turkeys on his property that they were assholes.
How the
And
fuck do
they
you
would
get
run
run
at
off
me.
by turkeys multiple times?
They're big. They're big assholes. And then one time I was running, I was
They sneak up on you?
I was working out. I was doing a run on a bike trail. And there must have
I was
been a
working
turkey
out.
that had a that
You
had
weren't
like
working
its
out.
little nest right there. Shut up, dickhead. Yes, I was. And it wouldn't let me pass. I had to get a stick and like shoot him. I had to. It was an asshole. Yeah, turkeys, man. Turkeys are assholes.
And then you started running from him. You're like, I was already running. I'm not running from you.
And then geese. That was actually, you know what? It was probably
did it not
probably
catch you?
it was probably
How the fuck did it not-
possum, geese, then turkeys. I had a turkey almost fly through the rolled down car window out of a cornfield in
Jesus.
Wisconsin.
What?
Yeah. On a road
This
that
is
was
all
either
shit I
named
did
like
not
a
know.
letter of the alphabet or like a number, because that's how they named
Oh,
roads.
yeah. A lot of those.
It was like at the corner of W and 12.
Yeah. Yep. I know those roads. I didn't know you were there.
It was I think I was in La Crosse. Yeah, I was in La Crosse.
Okay, but why?
I had a cousin that lived up there before I went and played ball up in Indiana. We visited the school in Indiana, and then we drove up to Wisconsin to go visit my cousin.
So you've been chased by turkeys in multiple states?
I mean, I didn't get chased by turkeys in Wisconsin. The turkey in Wisconsin just flew out of a cornfield at the right moment where it almost like flew in through the windshield, or not through the windshield.
Okay, well, you've had like aggressive turkey incidents in multiple states.
No, I've had, well, yeah, I don't know that it was aggressive though. I think it was just flying out. Which, can turkeys really fly? They don't fly. That amazed me. I had no idea turkeys could fly at that point. I was laughing my ass off. I was like, I had no idea turkeys could fly.
You were laughing.
I would have been less surprised if I saw a penguin fly, I think. I mean, I had no idea a turkey could fly.
Like I said, I still don't get how geese fly. They just fly like, you know what? We're going to fucking fly today. That's what we're going to do.
I don't know,
like,
man.
Fly
they
more,
do it.
Please.
They do it.
Do you know how much land there is? Like, you could shoot 1 million rockets up in the air, like mortars up in the air, and not hit a single person in the world. That's how much land there is, and the geese are in fucking parking lots. But I'm sorry, you have good turkey stories. I appreciate it. So thank you for adding that. That's all I got, sir.
We have one comment in the public chat from whoever was watching on Twitch. This is urinary troublemakery 6Q. And it says AI viewers streamboo.com. Again, to anybody out there, click, type that into your browser at your risk. I wouldn't do it, but AI viewers and this is at streamboo.com. And this is a comment from urinary troublemakery 6Q.
Wonder what that's trying to say. AI viewers. It's trying to get like AI bots to go to a link.
AI viewers stream. I think it's saying we should go to streamboo.com and pay to have them have AI viewers show up on the show and ask us and like comment or help our numbers. That's my guess. That's my guess. I wouldn't go to that website, by the way. I don't advise that. I love that these are the comments. This is clearly a brand new show.
I'm gonna go on Andre's phone and go to streamblue.com.
Do it
and ask what the fuck.
Oh man, Andre's lucky he grew up now. Could you imagine the viruses he'd have on a computer? Yeah, that was a real problem back in the day for us, man. Fuck up a whole family computer just to see one booby slowly upload. Line by line.
How about the TV that would get?
Oh yeah, fuzzy
like Cinemax.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The picture doesn't come in, but all the sounds are coming through. And
yeah, it's like a green and orange warped booby.
Quantum interference, soft porn. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, on that note. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at it in a week. I'm Jared. He's Jake. This is Galactic Animals. Talk to you again soon.
Peace.